Hello friends, today's topic is BEPS Action Plan number 14, which is Dispute Resolution Panel. Herein we will understand what is the meaning of dispute resolution and what are the corresponding OECD recommendations related resolving a dispute arising at an international level amongst the tax administrators. So friends, BEPS Action Plan number 14, which is Dispute Resolution Panel. Dispute resolution, as the word suggests, it's resolving a dispute in a cross-border transaction wherein a particular MNE is involved. So let's take an example. Country A, country B. There is a dispute regarding taxability of a particular revenue wherein you can say the same income is being taxed doubly, or the same income is not being taxed, that is non-taxation of a particular income. So either there is dispute for the taxpayer where there is double taxation, or there is a dispute for the tax administrator to resolve a particular query, and the treaty, the existing treaty or the existing provisions of OECD are not able to sort out this particular dispute. So the two tax administrators of country A, of country B will come together and try to resolve this dispute. And why this is important is, in case there is a dispute of taxing a particular income or a treatment of particular income in a cross-border transaction, then it is very much essential to resolve this dispute so that a certainty is provided to the taxpayer. A certainty is provided that in future the same transaction, what will be the treatment of this same transaction in future. So this will provide a certainty to the taxpayer because the existing provisions at the global level are not able to address this issue, and if these transactions come again in the future for a particular MNE, then the dispute resolution panel will act as a way forward for the subsequent transactions which will be undertaken by MNE group. So this provides certainty to the taxpayer that what will be the treatment of this particular transaction. So one of the important objective of the dispute resolution panel is to provide certainty to the taxpayer, avoid double taxation, implementing the tax treaty provision in a proper way, and obviously resolving the dispute which are arising in cross-border transaction. And the queries are resolved through a mutual agreement procedure (MAP), wherein the tax administrators of the respective country, country A, country B, come together and mutually try to come at consensus to provide certainty to the taxpayer. So friends, mutual agreement procedure, a part of dispute resolution process. And friends, this is one of the minimum standard which is to be implemented by the member countries. And way forward, if you see, this provision will be very much important in the coming years, wherein providing certainty to the taxpayers and resolving disputes will be the prime importance for OECD. Let's take a simple example wherein dual residency dual residency for individual. If you see Article 4, there are several criteria mentioned through which if an individual is resident in two countries, then in which country he will tie break there are specific pointers which are to be satisfied by the individual as per Article 4, and the pointers which are in favor of the respective country. In that particular country, individual will be resident. So in case of dual residency of an individual, there are already pointers set which are mentioned in Article 4, which will decide where the individual will ultimately qualify as resident of. However, having said that, for individuals, same criteria are not available for corporate entities or entities other than individual. So for that, there is a POM concept which I have already studied. Person, place of effective management, POEM, will determine the ambiguity in terms of dual residency of entities other than individual. In case through POEM, if the dual residency is not able to be sought out, then the M&E group has to file a mutual agreement procedure, has to go towards a dispute resolution panel for sorting out the difference of dual residency. So friends, for sorting out the issue of dual residency, in case POEM is not able to sort out the difference of dual residency of entities other than individual, then it is to be sorted out. It is to be sorted out through MAP, mutual agreement procedure, which is part of the process of dispute resolution panel. So you can see practically this provision is already in place, wherein Article 4, to sort out the dual residency of an individual, dual residency of an entity other than individual, MAP, mutual agreement procedure, will come into picture, which is part of the process of BEPS Action Plan 14, dispute resolution panel, in which an application is made basically by the M&E group, by the M&E member, to the respective tax administrators of country A, country B, to mutually come to consensus where he will be resident, in which country he will be ultimately qualifying as resident. So friends, objectives of BEPS Action Plan 14. First is minimize the risk of uncertainty for the taxpayers. To bring in certainty for the taxpayers is one of the objective of dispute resolution panel. Minimize unintended double taxation. So dual residency, in an example, dual residency, the member country, the SSC, the taxpayer, may be taxable on a dual basis. There will be double taxation involved. To sort it out, dispute resolution panel can be invoked. Consistent and proper implementation of the tax treaties. Effective and timely resolution of disputes regarding the interpretation or application through MAP. So resolution of disputes, one of the procedure being MAP, which is mutual agreement procedure. So friends, objectives of BEPS we have just discussed. Measures introduced to address BEPS pursuant to the BEPS action plans should not result in unnecessary certainty for compliant taxpayers and in unintended double taxation. So these measures are for safeguarding the taxpayers to providing them certainty. Improving dispute resolution mechanism is therefore a critical component of the work on BEPS issue. This being one of the minimum standard. In practicality, this standard will be very much important as per your syllabus is concerned. This is the only part which has been mentioned. in the cut start. This is the only part which has been mentioned in the syllabus. But in the objectives of DRP, you will have to be aware of that. And what is the purpose of implementing the BEPS Action Plan number 14? However, practically if you ask, this standard being a mandatory standard, it has a practical relevance, and actually if you read BEPS Action Plan number 14, then it is a very elaborate process, a very elaborate document. However, reiterating that for your syllabus, you are supposed to know the objectives and the purpose behind the BEPS Action Plan number 14. That's it. And the objectives, as we have discussed, is nothing but removing uncertainty for the taxpayer, minimizing double taxation, proper implementation of the tax treaties, and resolution of the dispute through MAP mutual agreement procedure. So friends, this concludes BEPS Action Plan number 14 Dispute Resolution Panel. Thank you.